food challenge has been a lot harder than I anticipated, both in regard to, I think, the growing side of things and also the buying. I think they've been equally as difficult as each other. With regards to the growing, obviously it's my first time that I attempted to grow any vegetables at all, and I would say probably my only success was my runner beans, and I had problems with everything else that I grew. Whether or not I could rectify that next year and treat it as a learning curve and have another go but use different methods of growing, I'm probably prepared to try that with a few of the different types of vegetables, but there are a couple of the vegetables that I wouldn't try again. With regards to the buying side of things, I did visit some of the markets, the local produce markets. I have to say I found the travelling to the markets, probably 10 to 15 miles, was quite a long way to go to just buy a few things, and B, I didn't find that there was actually the variety at the markets. It's all down to convenience, again, not convenience food, but convenience as in it needs to be nearly on my doorstep. If I had a van or something that came round at a regular time, I would definitely make an effort to go out and actually buy produce from maybe a travelling van or something that was not necessarily down my road, but at least sort of quite local to my area. Or a farm shop that maybe just opened longer hours. And again, also some of the farm shops, I found if you buy the actual tinned food or your other supermarket things that they'll stock, they are at an exorbitant cost, and you find you're paying maybe double, or certainly a lot more than you would buy from a supermarket. So I tend to only buy the local produce and then still end up having to do a supermarket trek for the other items. In terms of local food strategy for the New Forest, one of the things I think top of my list, and probably very, very difficult to do, would be to encourage the larger supermarkets to actually stock more local produce as opposed to regional produce, and just have more contact and build up a relationship with the New Forest produce and the New Forest mark. Another aspect, I think, of developing the local food strategy would definitely be to amalgamate or get everybody together who grows their own food, and the market people as well, to try and have maybe one central point where local food is sold, rather than, and on a regular basis as well, rather than weekly in different areas. I think the forest probably could become a lot more self-sufficient if it had the support of the larger organisations within it to make land available, and maybe there's a possibility of making that land available even free to people that are prepared to grow their own vegetables and their own food, who haven't got their own land to make it worthwhile. I'd like to still grow a little bit, but I could never see myself as being self-sufficient because of the time element at the moment. In the future I might have more time and more commitment to it, because at the minute I'm just really busy and working nearly full time, and I would probably obviously know a lot more in 5 years, which obviously makes it a lot easier than struggling and then finding you've got sort of ruined crops for one reason or another. I would actually just rather concentrate on being able to buy more local produce more easily, that's sort of on my doorstep, and maybe by way of a mobile van, which I know is sort of in some ways going backwards, but I just think nowadays with people being so busy, they would appreciate the food actually coming to them. What do you mean, eating out?
Well, yeah, or yeah, more sort of yeah,
eating out local's great. I've not found that a challenge at all.